Welcome back, everybody. We've got another work day behind us. Might as well knock our boots off. I'm getting enough sand in here as it is. I'm gonna have to buy a broom. So there's been quite a lot of changes to the new building site since the last time I featured it on the channel here. The most noticeable is the landscaping that I've begun on the exterior. We've got a good 30-foot out strip of gravel right here along the side. I've tied it into the road. Another leg is going to come down this east side of the building. We haven't got that far yet, but that's all the gravel I've got left. We started out with 72 yards of it total. Was delivered about 4 days ago. And between that 30-foot out layer down the side and another 30-foot out layer out front of this west end, I've spread about 60 yards of it total. I plan on making an upcoming episode that shows how I set the grade, roll out the geotextile matting, spread the gravel, all that good stuff. But you may have noticed the 3-foot wide gap that I left around the grade board perimeter, except for the main overhead door entrance right there. That's because we're going to fill that with rock. That rock right there, matter of fact. And it's going to serve 3 purposes. 1, it's decorative. 2, it's going to prevent the water that comes off of that E-veg from hitting dirt and splashing the dirt up onto the steel. And 3, along this E-veg and the one that runs down the far side over there, we're going to create like an open drain. Somebody's in a hurry. We're going to create an open drain water collection system. This one's going to head off that way, tee into the existing French drain. The inlet to that is over there that we threw in the ground out here 3 years ago. Should be some very interesting stuff coming up. But the main thing that I wanted to show you all, both overhead doors are on, so that means the building is fully weathered in. I chose to put the windows up rather high on these. Well, okay, let's get out of that glare. You can see why, okay? Being that we don't have electricity out here, no lights in here yet, having the window panels up rather high takes full advantage of all that light that's going to come in and lets it travel as far as it possibly can. Because you can see on the floor right here, that's all coming in from that door. So I didn't need them down low to be able to look out because I've got the glass in the walk doors and I have all the windows around the perimeter to see outside. So that was the reason for that. These are Clopay brand overhead doors, and this is what's called the short panel because these squares are smaller. The long panel has longer rectangular squares, and that translates into window openings as well. Once again, 14 feet high, 14 feet wide. That's going to fit the tallest machine that we have, which is the Cat 212 grader, and have at least 4 feet clearance up top. It is a steel door and insulated. And it's also about the tallest door that I could put on this sidewall height. I wanted to go for everything that I could get. And we had to do what's called a low clearance overhead track. So I'll open this up and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so the door goes up to within about a foot of the bottom cord of the trusses, but there are 2 roller tracks, all right? And just the top panel has a roller that rides in that top track. All the rest of the panels roll in the bottom track. And the reason why they do that, when you're taking this door back down and these panels are going from flat and making the turn and going vertical, because there's such tight clearance from the top of the door opening to the bottom of the trusses, having that upper track for the top panel makes it so that it doesn't have to roll quite as far to go flat. It flattens out against the wall and with the rest of the panels quicker with its own secondary top roller track. So that's the story behind all that. And as always, firm believer in giving credit where credit is due. I went with DC Garage Door to purchase these doors and get them installed. They're based out of Moose Lake, Minnesota, but they travel all over. Here's their contact information. Highly recommended. I gave them the dimensions of the door, of the building. They said, oh yeah, you need this low clearance track system. Here's your door options. They were really good at explaining everything, the features, the functions, the styles, and they showed up and banged both of these doors out in one day. So y'all in the market for some garage door installs or even some maintenance, some service, some repairs, these are your guys. So that covers everything that I wanted to show you all. That is the last of the work that I had to have hired done, and it also marks a turning point. Everything else now from here on out is back to being up to me, back in familiar territory. It's tough for me just to let go of the reins and let somebody else take it. I want to be in the middle of everything, so we just need to get busy. No more holding off and like waiting to tear up ground and like, you know, making sure everyone else in their trucks has easy access. Now we can rip and tear and do and just go as we see fit. Deer flies coming out tonight. So I thank you all for watching. I hope you all come back again. I think we're gonna get carried off if we don't get out of here. Thanks again, everybody.